How do? At the end of this vlog with Stephen, I'm going to read a little bit of information from my laptop. I'm going to talk about approved premises today, but firstly I'm going to talk about my mate. Good lad, ex-probation officer. Yeah, dying breed, quality, empathy, understanding, good quality work, recognised for his report writing, worked in prison, a lot in prison, found that a bit harrowing, stressful, and if you care and you do a good job, it can be. You know, you see people in prison who shouldn't be in prison, and you see people getting out of prison who should never get out of prison, but that's the system, isn't it? If people have served their time or been given parole or whatever, then they're out. Sad state of affairs. I have been advising him now for a good 6 months to get out of that job. I've seen a decline in his mental health, wrecked, absolutely wrecked, sleepless nights, started hitting the bottle a bit, not alcoholic, but you could see it, absolutely wrecked, stressed to fuck, and it's not worth it, you know, being there myself. So took a post, come away from prisons, working in AP's approved premises. So an approved premise, who's it approved by, and what's it for? You might get people who are on bail, people of small centres in the community in there, but usually they are for high risk and very high risk ex-prisoners. It's supposed to be, Stevie, come on, it's supposed to be intense supervision, working towards, you know, these people going back into the community. Come on. Working towards these people going back into the community. So he's worked in one of these APs up north. You alright, mate? How's it going?
Not so bad.
Good. Hey up, kid. Is he getting any better?
He's getting a little bit better.
A little less timid?
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. It's, I had him to the vet yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday. No, the day before. He's been limping.
Oh, bless.
Consultation, 14 tablets and a little bottle of liquid.
Yeah.
144 quid. They know what to charge, don't they?
They do. Take it easy, mate.
Right.
Intense. These are pro-social, these places. You know, reintegrating people, part of that. They are against antisocial behaviour, allegedly. Like I say, he's been working in these for 6 months. Not good. Drugs. The drug test in these APs. They're only testing for 4 drugs. They can't search people. They can't search rooms. These APs, you know, he thought bullshit when he heard it on the grapevine, full of drugs. They are full of drugs. So I'm telling you, these people are high risk, a very high risk, and they're already using drugs. And you can't do anything about it. Let me just give you a little heads up. So high risk, very high risk. Let's take 1 to 100 of prisoners who've been released, yeah? 1, the lowest high risk, and 100 being the highest high risk. And these may well have finished the sentence, be on licence, or they may have been paroled, but they're all high or very high risk, and they've been given parole. 1 might be someone who's a risk of reoffending, serious risk of reoffending, you know, goes back to an area, goes back to associates, high risk of reoffending, not a risk to you and me, or women, or children. Then let's take 100, yeah? He recently did a report on someone who's coming up for parole. You make your own minds up on this. This guy has been a Cat A prisoner for 30 years, so Category A is the highest security in this country. The Home Office, multiple agencies come together to designate someone a Cat A, high risk, kept in the highest secure conditions. And this guy's coming up for parole. So imagine now, you, my audience, are all sat on a parole board. He comes in front of you. His index offence, he raped a 10-year-old child. Yeah? Never shown no remorse. Has tried to contact that child. Bear in mind, 30 years ago, so that child is now 40. He's actually said that when he gets out, he will find that person, and they're now old enough to know if they want to be with him or not. Yeah? That is one sick individual. I'm on a parole board. Nope. See you in 2 years. See you in 4 years. Whatever. He ain't getting out. What do you think the chances are he will get paroled and sent to an AP? Because you know that's going to reform him and change him, and it's going to keep you, the public, safe. It's not happening. So let's go to these APs, what they like. He was in one, 12 beds, 12 rooms. There used to be single occupancy. Of late, because the system is full, is exhausted, prisons are full, yeah, they doubled up. Dangerous place to be. On nights, he was on nights with another person, not a probation officer, not no one with any qualifications to be dealing with high risk and very high risk ex-prisoners on licence. He used the term security. Sam, I was on the other night with a young lad, about 20. He got no whiskers on his chin. He could barely speak English. He was terrified. And that is my partner in crime, as it were. Pun intended. That's the person who's there to help me supervise these high risk and very high risk people. So what do you do? What would I do in that situation? Things I used to do. I'd challenge people, me. Upset the apple cart. Stick your head above the parapet. He's done that. Shut up. Keep quiet. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to upset the apple cart. He mentioned the word whistleblower. I've mentioned that before. He was told by his manager, when he mentioned the word whistleblowing, something like, this is dangerous, we're not managing these people. Most of the staff working in that AP were unqualified, not even probation staff. They might be on the ladder, but they were not qualified to manage or deal with those people. Yeah? He worked with one person who did a 36-hour shift. That's awake. You know, nights, awakening nights, you're awake. A 36-hour shift. Inexperience. Dangerous. Dangerous fucking place. Dangerous fucking place to work. And dangerous for me, the women and children. These people who they're supposed to be intensely managing. Yeah? No good. So his manager said, when he mentioned the word whistleblower, whistleblowing has consequences. Yeah? We all know that. He didn't mean it'll mean an investigation. He meant you. Consequences for you. Because I'll tell you what happens. People turn their backs on you. People make you look like a muppet, like you can't do your job. All that sort of shit starts coming your way. So I said, listen, leave. You know, he's a good lad. I told him about the jobs I'm doing. You know, working with kids. Go and do something like that. It's not worth it. I don't think I've put across just how dangerous these places are. I really haven't. And the fact that there's people in them who should never be getting out of prison, and they will at some point be back out in the public, is scary shit. But it all sounds good on paper. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. A couple of interviews next week. I'll get the Strangeways walk and talk done. Parting shot as always. I will be, for those that you want to hang around, talking about approved premises when I get home. Thanks for everyone who supports the channel, for the continued support as a community. Everyone who's bought me a brew, everyone who supports me on Patreon. God bless you all. Thanks for coming. I'll see you. I thought I'd read a job advertisement for approved premises. This will give you a good idea. Full-time, part-time job share, flexible working, approved premises residential worker. I ain't got my glasses, excuse me. Exciting opportunities to join the National Probation Service approved premises team in Southwest Central Division. There's shorts all over the country. What does the National Probation Service do? The National Probation Service is responsible for providing advice to courts and assessing, supervising and managing the risk posed by offenders sentenced to community orders by the courts and after their release from prison. What do approved premises do? Approved premises provide residential accommodation in the community for offenders assessed as posing high risk of harm to the public, victims and children, as well as those having complex resettlement needs. This is done by pre-release planning, preparing offenders for release by assessing their suitability for approved premises placement and supporting them in transition from prison into an approved premises. Transition. They go from prison to there. How are you supporting them? Are you holding their arm and their shoulder, giving them a walking stick? Don't forget, unqualified people everywhere in this job. Unqualified. It's serious shit, this. Residents. Resettling offenders into the community by providing enhanced monitoring through curfews, scary, supervision and rehabilitation oversight. Fuck knows what that means. Purposeful activity is a further key. My mate said purposeful activity, engaging with people, is purposeful. It does give some success, but some of these people are very high risk, and playing table football or pool doesn't lower that risk. Move on. Due to short stay in approved premises, it's important to plan and prepare offenders for move on and support offenders to begin living a more independent, settled and crime-free life in the community. How do they do that? The residential worker role is critical to the day-to-day running of our approved premises and provides the opportunity to work closely with some of our most challenging yet rewarding offenders. Rewarding? You will be supported by dedicated colleagues and undertake induction of ongoing training, as well as the possibility of working towards a VQ-based qualification. The role also provides an ideal entry point to the work of the National Probation Service and potential career progression if desired. Again, no glasses. In addition to the basic salary, you will also qualify for enhanced pay rates for the required evening and weekend work. If you are someone who enjoys face-to-face work, wants to make positive differences to the lives of offenders, and feel you have the skills to do so, then maybe the job for you. Overview. The job holder will work as part of a team providing 24-hour cover and approved premises, including security. Again, security. Come on, what a joke. They will provide assistance support to offenders in approved premises to reduce their risk of reoffending, recall or breach of the condition of their licence or court order, to ensure that offenders resident in an AP and the fabric of it are kept safe and secure throughout their shift. Summary. The job holder will assist in the supervision of residents, maintaining discipline. How are you going to do that? And adhere to the AP rules, licence, condition and court orders. They're full of drugs anyway. My mate says they're full of drugs. That breaches everyone. Everyone in there is taking drugs. Yeah? Not going back to prison now, are they? In addition, will contribute to the management of residents' risk. The post will involve substantial out-of-hours work, both waking, night duty and weekend work. The post holder may be required to cover duties at other approved premises. Yeah, my mate says they're literally travelling hundreds of miles to staff these up. Really. In line with the MPS policies and procedures, job holder must at all times demonstrate a commitment to equality and inclusion. Yeah, that's really important. And understanding their relevance to the work they do. Like I said, It's all a fucking pile of shit. It really is a pile of shit. And, you know, stick your head above the parapet. You're a bad person. I'll leave it there. I'll sit there.